day everyone. Today, me and my classmates are going to discuss business and consumer loans. We'll explain what they are and how they work.
Mathematics helps us calculate monthly payments, understand interest could be simple and compound, compare loan options, and make responsible financial decisions. First definition, business loans requires the business owner to sign as guarantors. For consumer loans, the bank or the lending institution may require a credit report, bank statement, and an income tax report, a return. And if the employee pays slips, as for business loans, the lendee must submit a credit report. The term of the business loan is generally shorter than the consumer loan. The interest rate for the business loan is usually higher than the for the consumer loan. Second definition, consumer loans are loans given to individuals for personal or family purposes, while business loans are loans for businesses. Consumer loans are businesses loans may require a collateral. The collateral for both loans may be real estate or other investments. For business loans, they can use equipment, pictures, or furniture as collateral. Consumer loans do not usually require a guarantor. Third definition, amortization method, method of paying a loan in principal and interest on installment basis, usually in equal amounts at regular intervals.
So, good day everyone. I will continue the discussion of the definitions. So, the first one is mortgage. Mortgage is a loan secured by a collateral that the borrower is obliged to pay at specified terms. Mortgage is a type of loan that requires security. Example ani is kanang manghulam ka og kwarta sa bangko para mo palit og balay. Katong balay nag-akto siya as a security. So kung dili to nimo mabaryan ang bangko or ang lender nga imong gihulman, pwede to nila kwaon ang balay kay nag-act man siya as a security lagi. So ang applicable na diri nga mga butang nga pwede mag-act as a security kay ang kanang sa mortgage kay ang kanang yuta, buildings o real estate. And the next one is chattel mortgage, a mortgage on a movable property. Ang kaning chattel mortgage, nana sila pagka-similar sa mortgage. Ang sa chattel lang kay kuan, applicable na diri ang mga gamit nga ma-move. Example ani is kanang mga sakyanan, mga jewelry ug uban pa nga mga gamit. So same ra ni sila og rules nga need gihapon og security. And then the next one is collateral. Investment assets used to secure the loan. It may be real estate or other. So kato akong pangingon ganina nga mga security or katong mga sakyanan, jewelry, katong balay o katong buildings, mo sila ang mga collateral. Nag-act as a kuan kaning security sa loan. And then the next one is outstanding balance. Any remaining debt at specified time. So ang kaning outstanding balance, mura ni siya og kanang remaining balance or remaining nga utang. Example, manghalam ka og 100, then gining bayad ka og 40. So 60 na lang nabilin. Ang katong 60 mo to siya ang outstanding balance. And then the last two is ang mortgagee. A mortgagee is a lender that provides a loan to a borrower. So ang kaning mortgagee, kuan ni siya, kaning murag bali mo ni siya ang lender sa mortgage nga loan. And then the next one is ang mortgager. A mortgager is a borrower who receives the loan. So ang mortgager pod kay mo po ni siya ang borrower sa mortgage nga loan. Now will discuss the examples of business and consumer loan.
Example number 1. Mr. Agustin plans to have a barber shop. He wants to borrow some money from the bank for him to buy the equipment and furniture for the barber shop. The answer is business loan. He borrowed money to start a barber shop, since the money will be used to buy equipment and furniture for a business, so it is a business loan. Example number 2. Mr. and Mrs. Craig want to borrow money from the bank to finance the college education of their son. The answer is consumer loan. They borrowed money to pay for their son's college education. This is for personal and family use, not for business, so it is a consumer loan. Example number 3. Mr. Alonzo wants to have some improvements on their 10-year-old house. He wants to build a new room for their 13-year-old daughter. He will borrow some money from the bank to finance this plan. The answer is consumer loan. He borrowed money to build a new room in their house because the purpose is to improve their home for family use, so it is a consumer loan. Example number 4. Mr. Samson owns a Shomai food cart business. He wants to put another food cart on a new mall in the other city. He decided to have a loan to establish the new business. The answer is business loan. He borrowed money to add another food cart for his Shomai business, since it will help expand his business, so it is a business loan.
Amortization period is the length of time over which a loan is scheduled to be fully repaid after two parties, a lender and borrower, agrees on the amount of a loan, the rate of interest, and the repayment frequency, after which the amortization schedule will be established. Amortization schedule is a list of several periods of payment showing the principal and the interest parts of a loan. The formula in solving amortization is as follows. Pn equals A times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n over I. Pn represents the present value of an n payment of ordinary simple annuity. A represents the annuity or periodic payment. R represents the rate in percent. K represents the compounding period. T represents the time in years. Remember that. I represents the period of interest rate, and in order to find I, we must divide the rate in percentage over the compounding period, or R over K. And finally, N represents the number of payments in annuity. In order to find N, we must simply multiply T, or the time, by the compounding period, which is K. For example, Mr. Garcia borrowed 1 million pesos for the expansion of his business. The effective rate of interest is 7%. The loan is to be repaid in full after 1 year. How much is to be paid after 1 year? And first, we must find the given, which is 1 million. And the given are as follows. The principal is 1 million pesos. The rate of interest is 7% or 0.07, and the time to be paid is 1 year, which will be equal to 1. And in this example, we must find F, or the full payment after 1 year. And in order to find F, we must use the following solution. F equals P times 1 plus R to the power of T. And in order to do that, we must first translate the given to the solution. P is the principal, so our principal is 1 million. R, or our rate in percentage, is 0.07, so replace R with 0.07. And our T, to the power of T, is 1. And since it is merely 1, we have no need to place it there because the result will be the same. And so, by solving all of this, the amount that must be paid after 1 year will be 1,070,000 pesos. The formula for simple interest is simple. I equals P times R times T, where I is the interest, P is the principal, R is the annual interest rate and the decimal of said annual interest rate, and T is the time in years. After which, we must solve for the total amount of the pay, which is A, representing the total amount, is equal to P plus I, or principal plus interest. For example, you borrow 50,000 pesos with a 10% simple interest rate for 2 years. Solution. Our solution is the equation I equals PRT. And so we translate what we are given into the solution, which is 50,000 times 0.10 times 2. Total, combining all of this, we get our answer, which is a total of 10,000. Next is to find the the total amount that you must pay, which is simply by adding the principal along with your interest amount or your total interest, which we found earlier, which is 10,000 pesos. And so we simply transfer or transform the letters or the letters into the given. And so A, or the total amount, is equal to 50,000 plus 10,000. And therefore, our total amount to pay is 60,000 pesos. Next is the formula of compound interest. Here, A, or total amount, is equal to P times 1 plus R over N to the power of N times T, where A represents the total amount to be paid, or its future value, P represents the principal, R represents the annual interest rate, or the decimal of the annual interest rate, N represents the number of compounding periods per year, T represents the time in years. And to find the total or the compound interest, we must simply subtract A by P, or subtract the total amount by the principal, or transform the solution to what we are given. And that gives us 200,000 times 1 plus 0.12 over 4 to the power of 4 times 3. Compounded quarterly for at least 3 years. Keep in mind quarterly. Since it is compounded quarterly, that means our n will be representing 4. And next, we transfer what we were given to the solution, giving us A equals 200,000 times 1 plus 0.12 over 4 to the power of 4 times 3, giving us 200,000. And by solving this, or eliminating the solving the first parts, or the edge parts over here, we get 200,000 times 1 plus 0.03 to the power of 12. And by solving this even further, we get 200,000 times 1.42576. And by multiplying 200,000 by 1.42576, we get our answer. The total payment is 285,152 pesos. The company must pay 285,152 pesos in total. And to get the compounded interest, we must simply transform or transfer our given to our solution. Our solution is CL equals A minus P. So by transferring our given, we get 285,152 minus 200,000. And by subtracting 285,152 by 200,000, we get 85,152. And therefore, the interest earned by the bank is 85,152 pesos.
Now let us move on to the comparison between consumer loan and business loan. For their purposes, consumer loans are used for personal use, while business loan are used for professional. Types of interest na ginagamit. Sa consumer loan, ang ginagamit nila kay usually simple interest. While sa business loan pod kay ang often nila ginagamit kay compound interest. For their loan terms, ang sa consumer loan daw kuno kay short to medium ang term, which is days to month. And while sa business loan kay medium to long term, which is monthly to yearly. And for the repayment sa consumer loan kay monthly siya, while sa business loan is yearly daw. And for the math tools nga ginagamit daw sa consumer loan, ang ginagamit nila kay simple interest formula. While ang business loan daw, kaya ang ginagamit daw nila kay compound interest formula. Now, let us move on to the application in GenMath. So, ang pinakaunang dayani kay word problems. Solving for interest, total payments, or time daw. Second daw kay decision making daw, which is choosing between loans, could be simple or compound. And lastly, kay financial literacy, understanding how math is applied in real-life borrowing. For in conclusion, in general mathematics, the study of business and consumer loans shows how mathematical concepts like simple interest, compound interest, and amortization are used in real-life financial decisions. Consumer loans, it helps individual financial personal needs, while business loans helps companies grow and invest. Understanding the math behind loans allows students to make smart financial decisions and avoid debt trap.